Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the channel. Today, we're going to go over some new ULTY news from YieldMax. So YieldMax is trying to do a lot of things to mitigate NAV erosion. And in this video, we're going to go over some of these. So this morning, they announced a strategic update to ULTY to balance options premium generation with NAV stability. That's the key thing that investors want. The fund will also announce its latest distribution today, December 8th. The strategic updates include YieldMax has updated the investment strategy for the YieldMax ULTY ETF to better align with investor needs for income and stability. The key changes are a more diversified portfolio. The fund will now include exposure to both high volatility names for generating option premiums and lower volatility large cap companies for supporting NAV stability. So there's two things there: generating options premiums with high volatility names and supporting NAV stability with lower volatility large cap companies. I think that's very encouraging. And then expanded option strategies. The managers are expanding their option strategies to better navigate drawdowns while still seeking to capture upside potential. Maybe we'll have Mike back on soon, or maybe even Jay, to discuss the ideas and the thought process behind these strategies. The goal is these updates aim to improve the overall investor experience, balancing attractive distribution levels with a more resilient long-term base. Again, the distributions are announced today, December 8th. I don't hold ULTY anymore. I dumped it with the rest of them November 28th. So I've been out of it for about 10 days. And if you all haven't seen my new dividend portfolio yet, please go check that out. It's in yesterday's video. The price in the NAV as of close on December 5th, ULTY share price was $39.98. That's after the reverse split. The NAV was $40.05, so it's trading below the NAV. The fund recently underwent the 1-for-10 reverse split at the end of November. The analyst outlook: market analysts have mixed to negative views on the ETF due to a significant decline in its NAV since inception. So it's not just YouTubers or not just the retail investors, it's also analysts. Despite the high distribution rates, significant decline in the NAV. The fund strategy involves significant risks, including potential capital erosion, may not be suitable for long-term investors seeking capital appreciation. That's important. It's still invests across 15 to 30 underlying securities selected for high implied volatility, such as MSTR, Rocket Labs, and Affirm. And of course, you can always go to the YieldMax news page for official updates. Let's go to the Twitter page really quick here to see some more updates. Okay, let's see. We've got a comment here, and thank you all so much for tuning in. Please remember to smash that like button. We've got a comment from David Duncan here. I'd love to hear from Jay and his thoughts on the future of ULTY. Yeah, me too. Hopefully we'll get him back on. Okay, switching over to YieldMax's X page. Okay, over here now. So, let's see. Distributions tomorrow. These are the distributions that will be coming tomorrow for your own perusal there. Here is the post they made this morning. They said, "We know many investors are focused on income, stability, and long-term results, and so are we. The YieldMax ULTY ETF is evolving to better align with investor needs. ULTY's strategic update brings together high volatility names that help generate option premiums and added exposure to lower volatility large cap companies designed to support NAV stability. We're also expanding our option strategy to better navigate drawdowns while still seeking to capture upside. Distribution levels may vary, but these updates aim to improve the overall investor experience. As always, YieldMax remains committed to listening, adapting, and managing responsibly." That's good. Good to know. Now below here, there's 3 new ETFs that I'm not sure of here: MSST, NVIT, and TEST. Interesting. Don't know what those are, but maybe we'll cover those in another video. Let's go to the official press release here to see if we see any further detail. Let's see. TP Markham says, "Already too late for me. I lost over 5,000 on ULTY and dumped it. Still hanging on to Misty and YMAX like a dummy." Well, I actually still hold YMAG. I think I sold all of my YMAX and all my accounts, but I still hold YMAG. That one I think is going to be okay. I like, the underlyings on that one. Bond says, "I wonder what's going to be in Y10 that they filed for." Yeah, we'll have to do a video on those. Okay, so at 9 a.m., this was the official press release here. A reminder: ULTY overview and core purpose. ULTY is an actively managed exchange-traded fund that seeks to generate current income and provide exposure to select U.S. equities through a portfolio enhanced by option strategies. Currently, the fund invests in 15 to 30 underlying securities. A lot of redundancy here. We're just going to go over it again. Selected for implied volatility potential of their options prices. The strategy aims to generate options premiums while offering participation in the share price changes. I like how they worded that, share price changes. I would like to see share price appreciation participation, but share price changes, that kind of covers all the bases. The following updates reflect an evolution of ULTY's approach. The portfolio construction updates. YieldMax is implementing refinements to ULTY's equity portfolio. The new approach introduces a more balanced model that includes expanded exposure to underlying reference assets. High volatility equities will continue to serve as the primary engine for generating options premium engine. While past performance is no guarantee of future results, I hope not, because it wouldn't be great. Many of these names have historically produced attractive option premium levels, which are essential to elevated distribution levels. Lower volatility large cap companies will also be added to seek to provide more NAV stability and create a more resilient long-term base. Together, the enhanced structure seeks to balance options premium generation with a smoother investor experience. The fund's combined equity portfolio also aims to expand its investment across sectors, industries, and other asset classes where possible. Everybody understood all those words, right? Option strategy expansion. Adjustments to ULTY's option strategies are being introduced with the goal of managing downside risk more effectively while improving the capture of potential upside gains. Potential upside gains, I like that. To accomplish this, the portfolio management team will incorporate selective hedging strategies to reduce the severity of market declines and leveraged option strategies that seek to capture more upside during market advances. That's good. I hope they can. These adjustments are intended to reduce the severity of drawdowns without compromising ULTY's objectives and reflect YieldMax's commitment to responsible risk management. Now, one thing I will say, because obviously this is me reading, but I juice it up with my own commentary and analysis. So I would like to see the strategy implemented with leveraged ETFs as well. And one opportunity that I think YieldMax has is to implement more leveraged ETFs in their repertoire of funds. They were talking about LevMax. I think the recent SEC ruling, which I did in a video last Thursday. If you haven't checked that out, please do. I think that's going to probably handicap or stifle their potential for coming out with LevMax when they wanted to. Haven't heard a lot about it, but we'll see. I mean, maybe next year. But obviously, November was a volatile month for especially leveraged ETFs, and there's probably too much leverage in the market as it is. But anyway, so the distribution outlook with the inclusion of lower volatility names and more protective option positioning, future distribution levels may be somewhat lower than previous levels and less predictable. That's fine. Stabilize the NAV, like I always say. Distributions don't have to be over 50%. Just stabilize the NAV. See, they're finally listening to us, I think. This adjustment reflects the fund's goal of balancing attractive cash flow with greater long-term stability and upside capture potential. Distributions and total return. Every ETF that pays a distribution experiences a decline in its net asset value on the ex-dividend date. This is not a defect of the ETF, but rather a fundamental feature. The NAV must decline by the amount of the distribution because cash leaves the ETF portfolio to be delivered to the investors. I think we all get that. We just don't want to see something like Tesla that you get a 90% dividend, but you're 90% down. We want to see some, we're not expecting to have our cake and eat it too, but we want to see some share price appreciation, especially when the underlying is hitting all-time highs. Evaluating an ETF solely by its price return fails to reflect the additional and sometimes considerable value generated by its distributions. This is especially true of ETFs that use option income strategies to generate current income. I like these disclaimers they're putting in. A more accurate assessment would be to evaluate an ETF by its total return, which captures both price changes and distributions. Commitment to investors. These updates reaffirm ULTY's core value proposition. The fund remains committed to seeking to provide attractive distribution levels while enhancing portfolio balance and improving long-term experience for investors. How about having an attractive share price? The YieldMax team continues to evolve and refine its approach in response to market dynamics, always grounded in transparency and disciplined active management. I agree, very transparent. Trades are always posted online. Before investing, you should carefully consider the fund's investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses. This and other information is in the fund's prospectus and summary prospectus. Please read the prospectuses carefully before you invest. And here's some other disclaimers, but that was pretty good. I like those disclaimers. Let me read this one. NAV erosion risk due to distributions. When the fund makes a distribution, its NAV typically drops by the distribution amount on the related expiration date. Repetitive distributions may significantly erode the fund's NAV and trading price over time, potentially resulting in notable losses for investors. Okay, but you didn't agree when I had Mike on live. You didn't agree that there were notable losses for investors. You're saying funds like Tesla are averaging 20% a year, which, if that was the case, everybody would be investing. Anyway, so I think we covered this subject pretty well. Let me know any questions in the comments, and please smash that like button. 2 thumbs way up. And let's see here. So these disclaimers here, I really like these as far as distributions and total return. I agree, total return is what we want to look at, but still, it depends on when we actually invested. You know, if we invest in 2023, in some cases, we're never going to see those prices again. So that's the thing. And eventually, you've got to have a strategy where, you know, when the underlying keeps shooting way up, you should be up, and not just total return, but price return as well. So happy Monday to those of you that told me happy Monday. And we'll look into other funds in the next video, but that's going to do it for this one. For those of you all that are on live, please smash that like button, join Discord, and comment and subscribe to my channel, where we cover this and other high yield dividends. We cover all investing topics, personal finance, especially options. The channel is live off dividends and options now. So we're covering a dividend income and hugely an options income from our cash secured put strategy, which, if you all have any questions, feel free to book a one-on-one with me. Check out the links in the description. By the way, we have new affiliate links for Snowball Analytics. We also have affiliate links for tax prep from Strongman Personal Finance. Very good CPA. Highly recommend you all check him out. And if you so choose to do your taxes with a CPA, he's very good. And we have links, of course, for StreamYard and for Seeking Alpha, to name a few. Thank you all for tuning in. Have a great day. Bye.